Congratulations on the purchase of your Siege RS410. Let's open up the box and start the assembly process. As we open up the box, you'll see your owner's manual. The bow will be inside. You'll have several different baggies with parts. Arrows are down below. The scope is down below as well. Now that we have the parts out of the box, you'll see we have the quiver, the owner's manual, your Picatinny rail, your tech hanger, arrows, butt plate extension kits if you want to add those, scope, and the crank handle. We'll start by installing the Picatinny rail on the underneath side so we can mount our quiver. And there will be many set screws in the SDS block to start with, so those will have to be removed before we install the tech hanger and install the Picatinny rail. First, you'll want to slide the tech hanger in, and then you've got the longer set screws that are going to come with your Picatinny rail, and go ahead and put those in by hand first. They should go in pretty easily to start with. Then you want to go ahead and just snug those up. You don't have to really wrench these down, just nice and hand tight. Your Picatinny rail will drop right over the top, and then you have two nylock nuts that will go onto those set screws that we installed just a second ago. You will need a crescent wrench or a box end wrench or a socket to tighten these down. And now you can reference the video on installing your 6-arrow quiver onto the Picatinny rail. Now let's get the scope installed. To start with, you'll want to just loosen the nuts that are on the side of the scope rings. With this particular bow, typically people are going to leave 2 to 3 empty slots in the Picatinny rail for the proper eye relief on the bow. Once you have those nuts loosened, I like to rock the scope kind of from left to right, and you'll feel that scope drop into the grooves in the Picatinny rail. Then you can go ahead and snug those screws up by hand. Those nuts do have holes in them, so you can take an Allen wrench and slide that into the nut and tighten those down that way. And I alternate a little bit to make sure the rings don't bind up. And those are good and snugged up. You'll also want to go ahead and install your crank handle. And that'll be on the left-hand side, on the underneath side. So you put the socket end up front and just swing that, and you'll want the knob lined up with the stock, and just give that a squeeze and it'll go right into place. And that's the assembly of your Siege RS410.